All right, Hare Krishna. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Her Grace Jiva G of the Bhakti Recovery Group. Uh, we did a couple of interviews before. One was a profile article, and one was that your first ever effort in Alachua?
Um, I think so. Oh, the first ever effort for an in-person meeting?
Oh yeah,
Yes, it was. For an in-person
yeah,
meeting, yes.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it was pretty cool to talk to you guys about it. So 5 years in.
5 years in, we had our anniversary.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Just to recap, could you tell us a bit about yourself and how the Bhakti Recovery Group started?
Yeah. You know, when I so I'm a recovering addict. I would just like to also say here, disclaimer, that the Bhakti Recovery Group is not just for addicts and alcoholics. It's for people who are grappling with behavior that's not breakable, behaviors that do not assist us in our Krishna consciousness. Perhaps, a bag of chips at 10 at night that we absolutely can't do. The longer I stay in this recovery business, I don't mean business as far as financial goes, I just mean sort of slang in this recovery business that I do,
Mm,
I see that um, every single thing that I use in order to stuff that God sized hole within myself is addictive behavior. And what is addictive behavior? Addictive behavior is turning away from God and towards the material things in order to stop feeling, thinking, hurting, anything. And the deeper and the longer I stay clean and sober from drugs, alcohol, codependency, dysfunctional eating, dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional communication, all those kinds of things, the longer I stay clean from those things, the more clear and the easier it is for me to see Krishna,
mm,
which is anyway a very rare occasion. So I would like to do everything I can to really honor that relationship because we're personalists and we want to have a personal relationship to Krishna.
mm,
So I became clean and sober. I first walked into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous at the age of 20, even 19 perhaps. My band members, I was playing in a band back then, and my band members, every time we went on tour or did something, I would just get so belligerent that sometimes I couldn't play gigs or they'd have to cancel because I passed out on a gig or whatever it was. And they started taking me to their meetings. They were clean and sober. And they talked a lot about being sober, and they talked a lot about a higher power, and they talked a lot about higher power. And all you need to know is that it's not you, that we need to find a higher power, a God of our understanding. That made sense to me, but however, I didn't get clean until 8 years later. Um, so I have now 28 years clean and sober, going to a program. I worked a very good program. When I say work a program, it means I did the work. It means I go to meetings, I do the step works, I look at my faults, I look at the things that get in the way. I try to pray and get and have these and ask God to remove these things. I make my apologies, my amends to people. Um, and then I carry the message by helping others do the same. And this was really good for a long time. And I realized that within me being clean and sober, that I needed more. It became so apparent that once the drugs and alcohol were gone, there were problems. The problems that there was there for the reason why I took those drugs and alcohol were still there. And so what I did is that I exercised my obsessive behaviors in other areas of my life, and I was still miserable. And I knew I did not get clean and sober to be miserable. I got clean and sober so that I can have a good life. And I did deeply believe in God, deeply, deeply, because I had very deep experiences with God, but I didn't have a God of my understanding. Um, so when I hit a bottom in my recovery, when we say I hit a bottom, I hit an emotional bottom about 17 years in, 18 years in. And it took me a couple years to find, I went to yoga and I did this and I got in touch and I did all of these things to look for God specifically. And I got in touch with a dear old friend who I knew was a devotee. A lot of my friends were devotees because I was in the punk and hardcore scene, and the punk and hardcore scene in New York specifically. Uh, there was a lot of Hare Krishnas around because we hung out on the Lower East Side, around the corner from the Second Street Temple, all, that whole area. That was our stomping grounds. So it was very normal for us to see the Krishnas around, to eat prasad on Sundays, to go to Tompkins Square Park, and so I always knew about this. And so I turned to my friend, and he started. I started explaining to him about how I see God and how I realize how I experience God, and especially how I experience God in the mood of being absolutely beaten into submission from life circumstances, from my own addiction. And having that, sharing that experience with Kastuba, his name is Kastuba Das, he's from New York. He just said, these are stories right out of the Bhagavatam. And I said, what the heck is a Bhagavatam? I couldn't even pronounce it. I said, what is that?
Hmm.
And we started talking and we started reading the Bhagavad Gita together. And within a year or two, he introduced me to Radhanath Swami, whom I take shelter of. And I spoke to him, and he had said to me that his biggest dream, one of his most dearest projects, would be to have a Krishna-related 12-step program, because he strongly believes in a 12-step program. And he says that people from a 12-step program have very deep spiritual experiences. And I think he also, because Bhaktitirtha Swami was also a very big supporter of the 12 steps and very big supporter of all of that. And I asked him how I can serve him, and I had already started it wasn't called Bhakti Recovery Group, it was called Yoga and Recovery. And I started an in-person meeting in Munich. So actually, no, my first endeavor was in Munich. It was not in Alachua, but it was my first endeavor
Oh.
was in Munich. But it wasn't called Bhakti Recovery Group. So it was just my first attempts. And then COVID hit.
Mm.
And yeah, so when COVID hit, Kastuba and Raghu, they do a podcast called Wisdom of the Sages, shout out. And also Raghu is a huge 12-step supporter and fan, and he loves the 12 steps, and he also believes that it is it's deeply, deeply spiritual. It's bhakti in another language. And so he's like, this was like during COVID. He was like, yeah, speaking about it, he was like, someone should do a recovery group with a bhakti centered something. And I said, well, I do that already. Let me just put it online. And that's how it started. It started in COVID.
Wow.
And it just grew and it grew and it grew. And I didn't have any goal for Bhakti Recovery Group. I just wanted to have space for like-minded people who had the same mood. I needed a place to go. Purely selfish. I was like, there isn't a place. Well, let me just make it.
Mm.
So I did, and it's it's not. It would be doing it a disjustice by saying it's my life's work. It's just integral. Like it's almost as if, yeah, it's just meant to be. It's my dharma. It's just my dharma. And
Mm.
whether one person comes or 30 people come, I don't care. I just keep doing it.
I'm just thinking about how to complete selflessness looks like complete selfishness in a sense. How you have to go internally in order for you to be that kind of selfless person. So for you to create such a space, you needed to be totally selfish in order for it to be a selfless space, you know?
That's beautiful. Yeah, actually, I would definitely tend to agree
Mm.
to that statement.
Mm. So I'd like us to just go into our first question. In fact, the second part of our question. So I don't know, I'm gonna divide this. Might as well just read the whole thing. As you reflect on 5 years of the Bhakti Recovery Group, what stands out most to you about how this initiative has evolved from its first meetings to the international community it has become?
Wow, that's a very layered question.
Mm.
Um, I'm going to pull that up so that I can answer that absolutely specifically because like I said, there's a lot of layers in that question.
Mm.
Um, when I reflect about the last 5 years, um, it's evolved in a very slow and steady way. And I'm grateful to have this service. I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't have this service. I thank His Holiness Radhana Swami. I thank Kastuba and Raghu for being 100% my champions. Um, and where it says what stands out most about you, the initiative has evolved. What stands out for me is this, and I wish I could say like, oh wow, it's been this amazing journey with all of this. It's been an uphill journey. It has been it has its peaks and its valleys, and the only thing that I can say is 90% of people generally, whether they're devotees or not devotees, do not want to do the inner work.
Mm.
Most people want to find an easier, softer way. And the people who do come and stay and work the program reap those benefits. We have a lot of, just like, I guess, just like in Bhakti or just like in a regular 12-step program or therapy or sports, it doesn't matter what it is. You're only going to get a small percent of the people who commit and continue to commit, who commit to themselves and doing service in this service. A lot of people want to dip in, say, okay, I'm fixed, and then just disappear, you know.
Mm.
A lot of people come and stay and do the work. The people
Mm.
who do come and stay and do the work and then try to give back to the community, because that's basically what we're saying. We can't keep what we have if we don't give it away. We have to give it away. What we so freely
Mm.
receive, we must give it back. This community is not just about me. When I die or if I just walk away, it has to go on without me. This can't be about me. This is not a cult of personality or anything like that. This is a community, strong and steady, um, and vulnerable. So I found the most incredible thing is actually the most positive, incredible thing is we have devotees coming who said that they've been praying for a space like this that's safe, that we can get vulnerable and we can talk the real deal. It's the real deal. We talk about what gets in the way. We work our steps on what gets in the way through a bhakti lens, through a 12-step lens, through the 12-step process. So what really stands out for me from all these years is that it's helped so many devotees be allowed to be vulnerable, without judgment and feeling safe and able to work the real work, the real work. Ideally, of course, as a devotee, we want to be able to chant our 16 rounds, do the prescribed duties, basta, finished. That's it. We're done. And ideally, that's great. And ideally, it should work. But I don't know about you, but I know that my head is super messed up. I need the extra special bus to go to work. I go to this. I take this small bus. I need a lot of support, and I know there's a lot of people who need it too. And it doesn't work like that for me because I'm not a pure devotee, and that's just fact.
Mm.
So it's a very honest thing, and it's where people can get very honest and do honest work. So that's what stands out the most for me.
You know that what's so real about that is the realizations that come in sharing space with, and not in a judgmental way, sharing space with people who haven't done the internal work. And this is not to say that I've done all the internal work myself, we tend to hurt each other even
Yes,
more, and that puts the bhakti um experience in jeopardy,
it really does.
because
It's
then the relationships are not authentic and
and not
yeah,
honest.
and
That's the
not
worst.
honest. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the worst. That's the worst. And it's funny
definitely.
that we have this interview right now
Mm,
because I'm feeling that right now too. And I'm feeling very, very happy that at least I have a community where I can call anyone in this community and say,
mm,
yo, I'm angry right now. I'm resentful right now. And then that person will say to me, really? What's your part in it? What happened with you? We're encouraged to look at our part, not as a this, but we're encouraged to look at our part because if we don't heal our own hearts, then we got no business pointing our fingers at other people's hearts. We're the unpure ones.
mm.
It's not about blame. It's just about doing the work.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
So no, that's really profound because when you did that, the whole thing when you point a finger, you got like how many point
You got
impact?
three pointing to yourself.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, okay, what's my part in this one? What's in my part? What's my part in this two?
Two.
What's my part in this three? Yeah, because
Yeah.
man, the past year, so much purification. Oh, Krishna.
Oh, me too. Me too. Hot not.
Yeah. So, our second question, could you share a few stories or moments from this journey that, for you, capture the heart of what the Bhakti Recovery Group truly offers? How Bhakti and recovery have come together to transform lives?
Um, One of the moments was recent, actually, when we had our 5-year anniversary and we opened up. See, this is the thing. In a lot of devotee communities, there's a lot of lectures and a lot of this. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But there's not a lot of room for exchange, a lot of exchange. So what I in our 5-year anniversary, people were able to interact and speak and talk and share. And so many people shared how much it saved their lives, the Bhakti Recovery Group. And I started to bawl. I was crying because if just two people, sorry, I'm getting emotional, just 2 or 3 people can come and say, this has profoundly changed my spiritual life and gotten my relationship with God right. Or at least given the okay that it doesn't have to be in this box. It's unity and diversity. That's what Prabhupada said. That's what my Guru Maharaj says. That even if it's not the typical ISKCON stamp, institutionalized way of doing things, we're still going for the same thing. And it's just a slightly different path, um, which is so bona fide. It's so bona fide. And when I heard these people sharing that for the first time in their devotee lives, that they were able to be honest and speak and how much it saved their lives, I just I just was so grateful. There was so much gratitude that I had at that moment, and it made everything okay. All the things that I went through, all of the work that I do, and the dedication that I bring, that Krishna allows me to bring to the table, um, is worth it when I hear stuff like that. You know, there's an expression in the 12-step program where it says, if you just change one person's life, you're doing the work. And if this group, that all I did was initiate, I'm not the leader of everybody here. I'm just an initiator. So that Krishna empowered me to initiate, if this is helping other people, all glories. And this is for me, yeah, this is my vision of a spiritual community. This is my vision of a spiritual community. And I can't give what I don't have. It's been my experience. So, yeah. So that was
Mm.
probably the most, and even the bad things that had happened when I got haters from both sides, haters from the 12-step community who said you can't do that. We're a non-denominational. You can't bring bhakti into it. That's, you're destroying this or that, or when the bhakti people said this isn't Prabhupada's writings, what are you doing? And this is, I got flack. It's done now, but I got a lot of flack, and it brought me in a lot of like a lot of shark water, put it that way, like a lot of sharks.
Mm.
And it helped me. It did not discourage me. It did not discourage me. Actually, it did for a while. I was very, very upset and very, very sad and deeply, deeply hurt because I'm a very sensitive person. But it made me just dig my heels in more and be like, okay, it helped me. It helped me the experience to say exactly what is this that I'm doing and what is it that I want. And I officially went to AA and got the approval of them and said that it's totally okay that I use their steps and it's totally okay that I do that. And so we are Alcoholics Anonymous approved, and we are for most ISKCON now completely approved. So it was worth sticking it out and not giving
But
up.
okay, when you said shark infested waters, this old jam, uh,
Mhm.
shark infested waters, message in a bottle. you know, I was just thinking, how do you reach for the message in a bottle and need all these sharks, But I was just thinking, why do you think there's all this bypassing though, amongst spiritual practitioners?
Because it's
Just,
uncomfortable. It's
mm,
uncomfortable to look at themselves. It's always easier to, and look, I'm not pointing my fingers. I do it sometimes too. We all do. We
mm,
all do. The thing is that we have to have the smarts enough to say, what am I doing? We got to be accountable for ourselves. It's not everyone's work. Not everyone has to do a 12-step program. I don't believe that. I believe most people should, though. and I
yeah.
also, and I believe it's beneficial for everyone, but I think it's just too much work for people. I think also if we think about just being in the depths of Maya every single day, where we work, we have families, we go to temple, we do our service, and now you want me to do a damn 12-step program.
Mm,
Like, I don't have time for this. A lot of people think, I don't have time for this. Or you have the people the other way around who are um who uh, who know that they have a problem, and they come and they know they want to get help, but they don't want to do the work.
mm.
It's Krishna's love is there for us, and all of these things are there for us. Yeah, every day I see it in myself. Atma, I see it in myself every day when I wake up in the morning, and I have a chronic illness and I am in pain 24 hours a day. My body is constantly in pain. And it's a real struggle to be in the right mind frame when your body's in pain. Um, but what I wanted to say is this: when I wake up in the morning, I have a choice every single day. I can choose to pick this cornucopia, this forever, not never ending beauty of Krishna consciousness and everything that it has to offer. It's like a cornucopia of true love of God, a cornucopia of beautiful decisions that I can make on a daily basis. And mostly because I am so conditioned, I will choose a big pile of dew, a big pile of poo poo instead of that, in the form of, it's cold out, it's raining out, in the form of, oh, my body hurts, or in the form of I'm not going to eat well today. I'm not going to offer this because it's got maybe some onion in it or something. I can't offer it, so I'm just going to eat it for myself. And like, these are the things I see in myself. I see this. If I'm not willing just to do those small things, where am I really? You know? So it's not always like that, but there are days like that. And this is where I think the bypassing comes, or the settling for the mediocre. I settle often for the mediocre.
Mm.
And I
I was
think
just think,
everyone has that.
yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking, I was working on a piece of writing about spiritual warfare. And as I was going through it, I had the realization that spiritual warfare doesn't necessarily mean an external battle. This person did this person did that. Going back to the three fingers pointing back at you, like the weaponry is the choices we make, and we have this array
Beautiful.
of,
Weaponry is the choices we make. I love it.
you know, it's like what? Yeah.
Mhm.
So our third question, actually our fourth question. Many participants describe the Bhakti Recovery Group as a space of safety, healing, and belonging within ISKCON. How have you fostered that culture, and what challenges have you faced in helping others understand the necessity of this kind of space within spiritual community?
Okay, I think we touched on that before, especially,
Mm,
and I think I don't have challenges anymore. The only challenge I do have is that I don't think a lot of people see the necessity. Um,
mm,
and I just don't think that they have the time, nor the patience, nor the interest in really, and really, I hear a lot from a lot of people. Oh my God, the work you're doing is so amazing, and I'm so happy you're doing it, and blah 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 blah. And the moment it comes to any kind of real interest, there is none. And I think it's sort of we're like the forgotten ones, and
mm,
I'm okay with that. I've done a lot of work around that, a lot of work. My inner work is a lot around that. I mean, when you know, I'm when because I've done that inner work, and that's the thing. And like you said, when people don't do the inner work, you go around and you hurt each other. If I'm aware, it's not just about I'm doing this and then everything's gone. Just knowledge does not mean that the problem is gone. If I know that my leg is broken, doesn't mean that it's in a cast now. It just means I know my leg is broken. So in a way, a lot of the Bhakti Recovery Group, we get to know what's broken. And then we go through the steps and we continue our bhakti, we continue our Krishna consciousness, we continue our practices, and then it heals. But we need to take time and patience and love and compassion with ourselves in the very first place, and then with others. The safe space is that we don't crosstalk. That means people get to share freely how they're feeling. We have a certain way of sharing. It's not a dumping ground for people of hate or anything like this. It's about, this is what happened. This is my experience. This is my strength, and this is my hope. Today I had a bad day. Why? Because of this. And how did that make me feel? And what step am I on? Like, oh, I was very full of resentment today, which means I need to do my ninth step. That means I've got an amends to make. I have to say sorry to somebody, or I have to check my own behavior. It's really about checking ourselves.
Mm.
So, say the question again. Are there other parts of that?
Like how it's come to be a safe space for people
Mm.
in the ISKCON community. Yeah.
Well, because we're encouraged to be brutally honest. Drop the brick. Take the mask off. Get naked. And I don't mean naked really, but
Mm,
like
mm,
stop the BS. Let's just be honest. Where are you at? It's not like it's, you know, I would love to be sitting here and tell you, I'm a great devotee and, because of this work, I'm the best devotee. No, because of this work, I'm aware that I can become the best devotee at some point. I'm aware of what stands in the way of me becoming a great devotee. I'm aware of the things that will block me constantly if I keep doing them. It gives you a choice. Once you start to do the work, this kind of work, you get to have a choice. Some people can just choose. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that behavior anymore. And they just stop it. Good on them. But if you have an obsessive behavior problem like I do, or like others, it's not that easy. We have to
mm.
do some extra work.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about my own hypocrisy, starting from day one when we first met, and I was thinking, this is something really amazing. And now, as you're speaking, I'm realizing it's one thing to say it's amazing and to try and understand it up here,
Mhm.
and it's a whole other thing to experience it. And bhakti is an experiential
Yes.
reality, so you have to engage with it. Anyway, we'll talk after this. I think I need to join your sessions.
Well, you're absolutely welcome to join us. We're such a
Definitely.
great family. We're really,
Yeah.
I consider us a family. We are, and that's truth. I've got like right now, my phone is full right now. I guess right now, let me see. There we go. Right now, announcement. Just a friendly reminder, we have a relationships meeting, relationship and recovery, AA meeting Wednesday. Right now, the meeting every day.
Mm,
I can just, and it costs nothing.
mm,
I don't charge people money for that. We are a nonprofit and we do ask for donations. That's another thing. People who come and join usually don't have anything, but we're now an official nonprofit. We're called the Jagai Madai Foundation. That's new. So we're an
mm.
official Jagai Madai Foundation. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Tell me more about that. Yeah.
yeah, so
When did,
we're
yeah.
last year, January 3rd last year.
Oh, cool.
It's been official since then, and we're trying to. We got a whole team. I got a whole team of people working with me now, a bunch of volunteers, which is really beautiful. But we're really trying to figure out how to get grants and funds and get funding and help and support so that I can travel and do my seminars and do. In India in January, we're doing a seminar. Um, Chowpatty has approved us, which is super beautiful. The Chowpatty Temple, I will be doing a 2-day seminar there. The Bhaktivedanta Hospital, I'll be doing a day seminar there. And at the Govardhan Eco Village, I'll also be doing a couple of seminars there and daily meetings. So that's
That's
the
really
beginning.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
really
beginning.
exciting.
It's a beginning. I think the Indian culture needs it too. They're a bit
Yeah.
behind in a 12-step culture. Actually, America is the top place for 12-step culture.
Mm, mm. So, this is on your website as well, information around the Jagai Madai Foundation.
Yeah, you can go into the website and it'll just talk a little bit about the Jagai Madai Foundation.
Okay, cool. Uh, our fifth question, His Holiness Radhanath Swami has been a guiding force in this service. How has his mentorship influenced the direction, ethos, or vision of the Bhakti Recovery Group over the years?
I'm laughing because when I first met Maharaj, uh, I can't even express how much I love Maharaj. I love him so deeply, and let me depersonalize it for a moment, and let's just talk about Bhakti Recovery Group, and let's just talk about my personal relationship with him. So that's kind of two separate things that are happening in a parallel way. So um, he has always, whenever I'm there, he always has an ear. He would like to talk to me about it and hear what's going on. And um, he's very much in the opinion, or not in the opinion. I don't even know. I can't even say that, but he his basic thing is, Jiva, use your creative intelligence. When I come to him with some sort of problem, he says, I know you can use your creative intelligence. Um, and the funny thing is that almost every single, like Sachinandana Swami, I go because I live in Berlin and I'm live in Germany. I have contact with him as well, and he always says the same thing. I can't get guidance from these people. They don't give me any guidance. They just tell me, just do it. You can. You can do it.
Mm,
Ride your chariot. So I don't know
mm,
what they see in me, but they trust me, and I can't tell you why.
mm.
But
No, I think they trust the fact that you've lived through it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, you have realizations. You have like hardcore realizations. Mm,
Maybe that's what it is, yeah.
mm,
So I think, you know, like tangible, like, okay, he's arranged this and he's arranged that. And it just happens like magic how Maharaj does it. It's just, he's there, I'm there. A couple of weeks later, something happens. Someone calls me. Gauranga Das called me. He wanted this to do this with me and do that with me. It's all like, it's just like little magic dust everywhere. I can't even tell you how it works. I don't know. I don't ask.
mm,
So,
mm. Yeah.
but Maharaj gives me something way more important than direction in that way. Because I think even if I got direction in that way, I probably wouldn't listen. I would probably do it my way anyway, because it's just, and they probably know that about me. That's probably why um, and not because I think their way would be wrong or something. It's just, there's just certain things. I just have a certain vision. I think they understand that that's just this vision. And, and they give me that freedom, which is super important. But more importantly is that I believe in so deeply in Maharaj and Radha Swami. I believe in so deeply of his magic. He is such, and I'm not doing this to put him on a pedestal, not in the way like, oh, Maharaj. It's like, no, not like this. He just, he's, he's the one man that I see, the one guru that I see, the one awakened being that I see that has the simplest, most untouched love of God. And knowing that he's around and knowing that he knows what I'm doing, approves what I'm doing, and supports what I'm doing is enough. Like, I don't even like, I've come to the point of where I said it's parallel and personal is that I really grappled with this idea of guru disciple. This was really hard for me to understand what that really means. And I'm just now in the last year starting to understand truly what that means. what that truly means. And even then, I might not know. But I let myself, and that's the thing, I do allow myself that time. I don't say like, guru disciple thing just because I don't understand, whatever. I don't say things like that. I just say, I don't understand yet. Give me some time. Give me some time to understand this. And having a deeper, which goes beyond words, which goes beyond attention giving or attention receiving, it goes way beyond that. This guru disciple thing, this guru disciple relationship, and being a woman, because I always forget I am. I always forget I'm a woman. I'm like, yo, dude, what's up? And then I'm like, oh man, like, look at him giving him hugs. I can't get a hug, like, why can't he give me a hug? I'm like, oh, you're a girl, you're in a girl's body. So this was always something that I just kind of was difficult for me to understand that, but all that stuff doesn't matter to me anymore. I get hugs from him I get something better than a hug. You know what I mean? Something better than a hug. I get his blessings. I get his, I don't know. I feel very connected to him at the moment, which is really beautiful. So I wish I could articulate it a little better. I'm still learning. Even 10 years in, I'm still learning.
No, that was better. Yeah. Um, this fifth anniversary must have been a deeply meaningful celebration. What were some of the highlights or key reflections that came out of this gathering for you personally and for the community at large?
Well, I think first of all, when we realize it's been 5 years and say, hey, it's been 5 years, and get together and talk about it, and talk a little bit about recovery, talk about bhakti, talk about the 5 years that's happened, and the ins and the outs and the ups and the downs. It creates an open door atmosphere of community. And that's all we all want. We all just want a community. Everyone just wants a loving community. I mean, most people. And or let's just say the people who want that are here. And it was a real Bestätigung, what is that in English? Confirmation. It was a real confirmation of, hey, we stuck this out for 5 years. We as a community stuck this out for 5 years through thick and through thin, times where there was only one person at a meeting to where there was 25 people at a meeting at once, where seasonally in the summer there's a dip in attendees because people are traveling, whatever. But whatever, and this is the thing, the most important thing is that the rooms stay open. We are always here. And that has been achieved after 5 years, and that is huge. And that we've grown from one meeting a week to 15 meetings a week. And that we have people who have been here from the beginning and who are still here. And that we're a constant. And I think that is the most beautiful little piece of gratitude. Like I get a little teeny crumb of gratitude, and I'm full. Just from that crumb of gratitude, my spirit is full, and I don't want it ever to stop. I just, like I said, if I drop dead tomorrow, I want it to continue. And we're doing everything we can right now to and this is sort of a double-edged sword for me. We have to sort of systemize things, which I am not a fan of, because once you start to systemize things, it starts to become institutional, and we all know what happens. However, it's the most simplest of guidelines, And we just want it to be so that it just carries on. So that if everyone just died tomorrow and someone wanted to and someone wanted to pick up the groups again, there would be all the instructions there. This is what you do, and this is how you do it. And this is what we're building now. We're building this up. We're building all of this up. We have a solid team now. We have all of these things in place now. And now it's really about getting those things perfectly in place. The book is still being written. I still haven't finished it. No, I still not haven't finished it. Um, and it just I want that to be in place for all to use, everyone to use when they need it. That's it.
15 meetings a week. Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that would be kind of a way to measure the success of the program showing up?
What do you mean? You mean
Like, if you were to say I have a metric for what success looks like, anybody, even you yourself as the founder of the program, would you say that's how you would measure success? Just showing up is what it means to be.
yes.
Uh,
Well, success on the personal level or on the group level?
what would it look like on the group level?
On the group level is, yes, success is people showing up to meetings and people facilitating and being the chairperson of that meeting. And doing it in a way where there's an atmosphere encouraged of growth, vulnerability, work, love, bhakti,
Mm.
12 steps, all of it. And on a personal level, success is God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When that is in my hands and feet, when that is in every breath, that's a success. And there are moments I have that in my life, you know.
Mm.
And the thing is once we start practicing, we start to have a choice. What does it mean to have a choice? It means you have a choice to say yes or no to something. You have a choice to choose Krishna consciousness when you wake up, or to choose, I don't know, Instagram. What do you choose in the morning? When you're addicted, you don't really have a choice anymore. When I was addicted to heroin, I would wake up in the morning. I didn't have a choice. I had to go get heroin or I'd get sick or I couldn't do my day. I couldn't do the things in my day because I was dope sick. I never felt I had a choice. I was like a remote controlled robot being controlled by a substance. And that's when we can do that with anything. We can do it with people, places, or things. Sometimes we put a real codependent, we'll put the joy, happiness, and satisfaction of everyone else before themselves. And then at the end get resentful. When we start to have a choice of saying, no, okay, I'm going to speak up today. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to show my boundaries, and not in a mean way. Just I'm going to show my boundaries so that I can show up better. So, yeah, that's success. Success is starting to learn that when you show up to a meeting and when you start doing the work, you become tuned more in with your personal relationship with Krishna. It's not just some sort of, okay, I'm just going to do my chanting, I'm just going to do my puja, and I'm just going to do this. It's like, okay, let's just do this quick so I can get on with my day. You know, this stuff fills those gaps in the day where you just want to have an honest conversation with God, or just pray like, hey God, Krishna, what help me with this right now? I can't, I'm right now in a pickle. What do I do right now? I'm just going to give this over to you. I can't control this. Like, I'm going to just do the next best thing, and whatever happens, I will accept. And the program helps us do those things. Really, like, put that in motion. with really like easy, tangible things.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. So you mentioned India, Germany, I take it, and America. What other countries are you in, or have you touched base with?
As far as in person or online meetings,
Um, Online and in person.
online, it's America, it's Australia, it's New Zealand, it's India, it's UK, it's Germany, it's till now, that's the normal. That's the normal. Like that's basically. Oh,
Mhm.
Japan. We've got a couple of people from Japan,
Oh, cool.
and that's it.
And in
I mean,
person?
in person, we have here in Berlin. I've started an in-person meeting downstairs from my house, actually. There's a tattoo studio downstairs, and he's a devotee, and he's offered me his tattoo studios on Thursdays, every Thursday at 7:15 p.m. We do a Bhakti Recovery Group in-person meeting. Then we still have one in Alachua. We had one in India, but the person moved away. I think you might know him. He's from South Africa, and now he lives again in South Africa. I won't say his name because I won't break his anonymity. I'll tell you
Mm.
afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I only tell you afterwards because he actually doesn't mind me breaking his anonymity, but I don't want to do it in this big public thing. I don't
Mm.
know how he feels about that. Um, and we have in Philadelphia, we have one on Wednesday nights in Philly. And that's it. Berlin, Philly, Alachua.
Oh, okay. Last question. Looking toward the next 5 years, what are your hopes for how the Bhakti Recovery Group will continue to grow, both in reach and in depth? Are there any upcoming initiatives, collaborations, or areas of expansion that you're especially excited about?
Absolutely. So what we're trying to do now, like I told you, I've got this dream team. We're really trying to implicate 4 retreats in the year and in every continent, one in Europe, one in the States, one in Australia, and then one in India. And we're trying to kind of do that so that people can really are able to come to a retreat, dig into the 12 steps, and do all of the 12 steps. So we're also creating, I do 12-step workshops. I've just finished the fourth, fifth, and sixth step. It's like every week, like every season, it's through the whole year. So there's 12 steps. So there's 3 steps throughout the year. In summer, we had the first 3. In fall, we had the next 3. Winter, and then again summer, and then so it goes over and over again. So we're training people up in the 12 steps. The people get an idea of the 12 steps. They work the 12 steps as they come to the program so that we can give back so that there are people because I think the main challenge in the Bhakti Recovery Group is there were so many newcomers and there were just not enough people to take them through the program. There was not enough people to sponsor them. We have sponsors, it's like mentors
Mm.
in a 12-step program. But in the Bhakti Recovery Group, there was too little experience. So there was a lot of newcomers, and it's been 5 years now, and a lot of people have done those steps. And some of those people have done those steps and never came back and decided to bring those somewhere else, which is their prerogative. And it's totally fine. However, we would like for people to learn and stay so that we can grow in the community. So, step workshops, seminars, retreats. In the next 5 years, I want it to be integral. I want it to have 4 retreats every year so that we can spread the word. I'd like to speak at every venue that I'm invited to. I want to get the word out more. Um, and I want to train up people who they can do the same thing. It won't be just me. I want other people taking leadership positions so that people can, you know, not everyone's going to relate to me. And especially we need men for men There's a lot of like a lot of like pornography addiction and that kind of stuff. And I don't know if many men are comfortable talking to me about it. And I'm not pornography addicted, so I wouldn't be the expert. However, I've been married to people who were pornography addicted and went through the process with them. So I'm very educated on it, and addiction is addiction. But I think a lot of men would appreciate other men working with them on those things. So getting a very strong men's program going. We do have 2 meetings a week for sexual purity, just men's meetings. And I would like to uh, get a stronger male leadership going. Um, and basically just spread the word and offer and get support. That's basically what we're looking for. It's like I've been supporting so long, I don't get paid or anything. I don't ask for money. I don't believe that I should. I don't want money for this work. It's just not something that I do. However, I do need to be able to live, and I do also need to be able to travel and do all of these things. So we are definitely looking to be an organization where all of these things can be financed. So that's
Great.
that's our goal in the next 5 years.
Cool. So if devotees want to get a hold of you or find out more about the Bhakti Recovery Group, where can they go? Do you have like social media pages, Instagram, all
Oh
of
yeah,
that? But
absolutely.
yeah, I was just about
But
to say, how does that work though? Like if you have your meetings or you just post quotes, how does it work? You can't like, like you were saying, anonymity is like
well, I mean,
quite
it's not
important.
like a regular 12-step meeting is the same. You don't walk into a room with a bag on your head. You got to expose yourself to a certain, it's like it anonymity means who's in the room stays, that like who you see in the room, what you hear in the room stays in the room.
Yeah.
So when you come to a meeting, um, it is important that you introduce yourself. Um,
Hmm.
because we don't want people just showing up and not saying anything. If there's a new person at the meeting, you can't just like be in the background and say nothing. At
Hmm.
least just say like, "Hey, my name is da 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 da, and I'm just listening today." You don't have to share. You don't have to say anything, but we have to at least know who's in the room with us. It's important.
Oh, cool. Love that.
So, but it's not like that. You don't get that ever. No one just like comes to a meeting and creeps around in the background. There isn't. It's happened like once or twice, and it wasn't even like that. We thought it was, and then it turned out to be someone who was older and couldn't figure out their technical stuff. So,
Oh, oh.
so it wasn't
Yeah.
like, yeah, it wasn't anything creepy or weird. So,
Mm,
yeah, you have to be willing. This is the thing, like, oh, I don't want to say anything, like, I'm this or I'm that, and I don't want to expose myself. Well, get over it. You want to
mm,
get over your problems, there's certain things, there's a trade-off for that. You can't go to a shrink and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to go there with a bag on my head. I'm going to hide myself in the corner." It's ridiculous. It's
mm,
just ridiculous. But the thing is I do realize that there are some leaders and people, and when the need comes for that, then there can be like just regular leader meetings. We have in regular 12 step, we have special interest meetings, which means like an AA anywhere, or just an ISKCON where God Brothers, Prabhupada disciples meet amongst themselves because they have certain things that they can't share with other people. They want to share with them amongst themselves. The same
mm,
like in AA, you have like famous people meetings. It's closed meeting for people who are like just in the film business or music or people who don't want to be, in the general public because it'll affect everything. So
mm,
So yeah, I mean, eventually in ISKCON or that we can, that was also another thing on our agenda, was having a special interest meeting for leaders, for people who can't just come to a regular meeting because maybe they're presidents of temples or whatever, and you can't have that. So yeah, it's all possible.
mm. I see great things on the horizon.
Oh, well. I just see me doing the same thing. That's it. I'm just going forward. Satchidananda Swami told me, let the dogs bark and ride your chariot. I'm just gonna ride my chariot. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna do it. That's all. Just gonna
Mm.
keep going. And I'm
But
happy if other people jump aboard.
sorry to just jump down your throat like that, but I'm just thinking so many of the problems that we see in our movement internationally, I think speak loads towards having such a program and the need to have such a program. Just thinking about how, yeah, that's a very sticky place though. Devotee care needs packs from BRG, starter packs, help them deal with this. There's so much going on, particularly when it comes to uh well, it's not sexual deviance, is it? What would you call it?
What, sexual addiction?
Yeah, sexual addiction.
Sexual addiction or compulsive behaviors or whatever. I mean, there's so
Yeah,
many things. There are people who, yeah, there's so many
yeah,
ways of that manifesting, you
yeah.
know,
And the drug wave. Oh my God,
crazy. Especially with
it's
weed being
crazy.
legal. I don't know what
I
it's like in South Africa, but
We're on campus, man. I think this is the highest generation I've ever met. I mean, we used to get high, but it wasn't like this. This is crazy,
I
you
know.
know?
My building where I live here,
Mm.
they got, because it's legal. So every balcony outside of my window, they have these huge plants with huge buds growing on them, and I smell it every day. My whole
Yeah,
building smells like weed.
yeah,
And I mean, I never liked weed, so I'm happy I like the hard stuff. Weed used to just make me super paranoid, so it's nothing for me. Like,
Mm,
and I do actually love the smell. I think it smells wonderful,
mm,
but it's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
But apparently, a lot of people are starting to get ill. They're starting to see a lot of mental illness because this is not just weed anymore. It's actually become a drug. It's engineered now. It's no
Oh my
longer
God,
the
it's crazy. When I used to,
yeah.
well, I smoked as a teenager. It was like when you got 4%, you were like, yeah, that's like the best. Now it's like, what do they have? Like 35% THC? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't even know what they have. That's
yeah,
craziness.
yeah. But thank you a lot for
Well,
coming
thank
on here.
you, Atma.
I
I'm
really
so glad
appreciate it.
that you reached out. I always
And
have very fond memories of you. I would love to meet you and your wife, right? You're married, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
your
Mm.
wife. And do you have children?
I do from a previous relationship,
Okay.
but that went south. That just
Sorry, I'm
God,
not laughing at you. It's
no,
just like for,
that blew up in my face. Like
oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that's a story for another day.
I'd love to
Yeah.
hear it.
Mm. So I'll just end our recording and you know what the tricky thing with the BRG